On a humid night in Kolkata, Rajiv boarded the last metro train to Kalighat. The station was eerily deserted, and the only sound was the distant hum of the city. He glanced at his watch, 11:55 p.m. Hurrying, he stepped into the dimly lit carriage, finding it empty except for a woman in a red sari sitting at the far end. The train doors hissed shut behind him, and the carriage jolted into motion. Rajiv settled into a seat near the middle, directly opposite the woman. She sat unnervingly still, her face partially obscured by her long black hair. Feeling uneasy, he averted his eyes and took out his phone. No signal. He sighed and leaned back, trying to relax. As the train rumbled along, Rajiv noticed something odd. The woman in the red sari had not moved at all. Her posture remained rigid, hands clasped in her lap. An inexplicable chill ran down his spine. To distract himself, he looked out the window, but the darkness outside seemed impenetrable. A few minutes passed before Rajiv glanced at the woman again. Her head was slightly turned, and he could see one eye peering at him through the veil of her hair. It was bloodshot and wide, with an unsettling intensity. Rajiv's heart pounded. He quickly looked away, his palms sweating. The train screeched as it slowed down for the next station, but no one boarded. The doors shut, and the train continued its journey. Rajiv felt a growing sense of dread. He glanced at the woman. She was now facing him completely, her eyes fixed on him. Her lips were moving, but no sound came out. Rajiv's breath quickened. He stood up, intending to move closer to the door. The woman suddenly stood too, matching his movements. He froze. Her eyes bore into his, and he could see tears streaming down her face, mixing with streaks of smeared makeup. The red sari seemed darker now, almost crimson. The train plunged into a tunnel, and the lights flickered before going out completely. Rajiv was engulfed in darkness, the only sound the clattering of the train wheels. He fumbled for his phone, using its faint light to navigate. As the lights flickered back on, his heart nearly stopped. The woman was now only a few feet away, her face twisted in agony, her mouth wide open in a silent scream. Rajiv stumbled backward, pressing himself against the door. The lights flickered again, and she was gone. The train slowed and stopped at Kalighat. Desperate, Rajiv ran out, not looking back until he was safely on the platform. He turned to see the woman still inside, staring at him as the doors closed and the train pulled away. Shaken, Rajiv researched the haunting and found a news article. Woman in red sari commits suicide on Kalighat metro track. According to the report, a young woman had thrown herself onto the tracks after her fiancé abandoned her. Since then, there had been sightings of her spirit on the last train. The next night, Rajiv found himself inexplicably drawn to the station again. The cycle was destined to repeat. Escape was impossible.